22-year-old Plymouth-born Henry Slade will be hoping he's done enough to impress the England coaches to continue his time in the World Cup training camp and feature in the team's Rugby World Cup warm-up games. He spoke to Killik Rugby about his idols, his versatility and how camp has been so far.
Yeah, good. It's been pretty tough, but you expect that in pre-season, and obviously with a big tournament coming up, then obviously the boys are working really hard and pushing each other in training, and yeah, it's been really enjoyable.
Saw some tweets of you out on the golf course, I think it was. Teammates Jack Noel and Luke Cowan-Dickey losing some of your golf balls, were they?
Yeah, I know, nightmare, but no, it's just nice to have a little sort of relax and take your mind off things sometimes and just get out. It was just down there actually on the course down there, so yeah, just got a knock back.
Brilliant. Tell me about Denver. Everything we're hearing in the media is that it was fairly brutal. Is that the case?
It was tough, yeah. I mean, pretty much doing similar sorts of things we were doing here, but ramping it up slightly, and plus obviously being in the heat and at altitude as well, so just made that a little bit tougher, but no, it was good, brought the boys closer together, and I think it was very beneficial.
We've got about 6 weeks to go until the Rugby World Cup. About half that time Stuart Lancaster's going to name his 31-man squad, so how much exposure do you feel you've had to put your case across to the coaches?
Well, I think everyone's had a chance. I mean, we've been here for a few weeks now, and we've been training hard and working hard. I think everyone's been given that opportunity to put themselves in training and show what they can do. And I think hopefully we've got to focus on this week now, but if we get through this week, then there's some matches to put your hands up as well. So.
Yes, of course, the squad's going to be going down in number at the end of this week, so a last chance to stake a claim before the next cup.
Yeah, I mean, well, like I said, we're just focusing on this week's. The cut at the end of this week. That's what everyone's aiming for. But then, if you do get through that, then yeah, you've got a few games to put your hand up and see what you can do.
Yes, and with those games coming up, it could be a chance for you to win your first cap for England in those warm-up games. Given that you've won the Under-20s Junior World Cup in 2013, you've spent a fair amount of time around the England training camp. I know you were here for a large amount of the Six Nations. Does it almost feel at this point like that first cap could become a formality, given the World Cup looming in the background?
Well, I'd hope to be involved. I mean, that's what I've been striving this whole season, this whole pre-season training as well to be working towards. And if I can, that'd be absolutely amazing. But what I'm doing is just trying to focus on getting through this week and making that next cut, and then we can work from there.
Stuart Lancaster's spoken about the fact that some players who are able to play in a couple of positions are going to be advantageous to him, given the nature of juggling a very fine 31-man squad. How important do you think it is that you've got experience of both 10 and 12?
I think that would help if that's the sort of thing they're looking for. I mean, I feel quite comfortable playing in the centres, as pretty much as comfortable in the centres as at 10. So if that can help me, then that's great. But if not, then obviously not to be. But.
Just a word on previous World Cups. I noticed your Twitter picture is you alongside a certain Johnny Wilkinson. Where were you 12 years ago?
I was in the local rugby club, Overbridge Rugby Club back at home, and I think I was like 10, I think, at the time, and I was under a table watching it because there was no space anywhere else. So I was like watching it from underneath the table, and when he got the drop guard, I jumped up to celebrate, forgetting I was underneath, and smacked my head on the bottom and the side of the table. So.
Still got a scar there to be able to remind yourself of?
Oh no, I got a few, but that's not from that.
Fair enough. Yeah. Well, as we mentioned, you're playing at fly half and centre. When you were younger, who were the people in those positions that you looked up to, perhaps you wanted to emulate?
I mean, probably the main one was Johnny Wilkinson. I mean, looked up to him in the way, it wasn't just the way he was on the field, but it was off the field, and the way he went about himself, about things, and similar, like more latterly, like watching him and his partnership with Gitto at Toulon. That was something which I had my eye on quite a lot. I mean, sort of the same style of player probably I like to sort of mould my game on, and they're probably the main two that I was looking at.
See, so as we get closer, as we've said, you're concentrating on things this week, and perhaps there could be warm-up games to come. How excited would you be to be playing a part in this World Cup, Henry?
Oh, that would be massive. I mean, everyone dreams about it from when they're kids. It's been a long time since I was watching that final when they won 2003. So yeah, ever since then, really just been probably the main focus, and for it to be at home as well is massive. I mean, to be involved at any time would be amazing, but especially it makes it even that more sweeter that it's on home soil. So.